What is Darvo? Darvo stands for Deny, Attack, and Reverse, Victim and Offender. Darvo, a manipulative tactic first described by psychologist Dr. Jennifer Freyd in the 1990s. It is used by narcissists to avoid accountability and silence their victims. In this video, we will break down each stage of Darvo and offer practical advice. Individuals who engage in Darvo seek to control the narrative. They turn the tables, making themselves appear as the injured party. This can be incredibly confusing and emotionally distressing for an empath. Understanding Darvo helps recognize harmful behavior patterns. By understanding these tactics, individuals can better protect themselves. Remember, if you recognize these tactics, it is not your fault. You deserve to be heard, believed, and supported.
Deny shifting the blame. The first stage of Darvo is denial. The perpetrator or the narcissist will flatly deny the abuse ever occurred. They may offer alternative explanations for the victim's claims, downplay the severity of their actions, or claim to have no memory of the events in question. This denial can be incredibly convincing, especially if the perpetrator is charismatic or holds a position of power. Denial serves to immediately invalidate the victim's experience. By refusing to acknowledge the abuse, the narcissist or the perpetrator forces the victim into a position of having to prove their claims. This can be a daunting and emotionally draining task, particularly if there is a lack of evidence or if the abuse was primarily emotional or psychological in nature. It is important to remember that denial is a common defense mechanism employed by abusers. It does not negate the reality of the abuse, nor does it make the victim's experience any less valid.
Attack. Turning the tables. When denial fails, the perpetrator or the narcissist will often move on to the attack phase. They may launch a personal attack against the victim, questioning their character, motives, or sanity. They may accuse the victim of lying, exaggerating, or being overly sensitive. The goal is to discredit the victim and make them appear unreliable. These attacks can be relentless and vicious, often playing on the victim's insecurities and fears. The narcissist may try to isolate the victim from their support system, spreading rumors and lies to turn others against them. This can leave the victim feeling alone, confused, and unsure of who to trust. It is crucial to recognize that these attacks are a tactic of manipulation and not a reflection of the victim's worth. The narcissist is attempting to shift the focus away from their own actions and onto the victim, deflecting responsibility and maintaining control.
Reverse victim and offender, creating a false narrative. The final stage of Darvo is the most insidious. The perpetrator or the narcissist will attempt to reverse the roles of victim and offender, portraying themselves as the true victim of the situation. They may claim that the victim is actually the abuser, that they were acting in self-defense, or that they are being unfairly targeted. This manipulation can be incredibly effective, particularly if the perpetrator or the narcissist is skilled at garnering sympathy. They may play the victim to friends, family, and even law enforcement, painting a picture of themselves as an innocent person being wrongly accused. This can lead to the actual victim being ostracized, disbelieved, and further traumatized. Recognizing this role reversal is essential in breaking free from the cycle of abuse. The perpetrator or the narcissist is not the victim. No matter how convincingly they may portray themselves, it is crucial to remember the truth of the situation and to seek support from those who can see through the manipulation.
Section 5. A real-world example. Darvo in action. One high-profile example of Darvo can be seen in the response of some individuals accused during the #Me Too movement. When faced with allegations of sexual harassment or assault, some accused individuals denied the allegations outright, attacked their accusers' characters and motives, and even portrayed themselves as victims of a witch hunt or a culture of political correctness gone too far. These responses, often amplified by media coverage, served to deflect attention from the allegations themselves and created a climate of doubt and skepticism around victim stories. This illustrates how Darvo can be used not only on an individual level, but also on a larger societal scale to silence victims and protect abusers. By understanding Darvo and recognizing its patterns, we can better identify and challenge these harmful narratives. It is essential to support survivors of abuse, believe their stories, and hold perpetrators accountable for their actions.
Section 6. Confronting Darvo, Practical Strategies. Dealing with someone using Darvo can be incredibly challenging, but it is not impossible. Here are some practical strategies for navigating these situations. Trust your instincts. If you feel unsafe or manipulated, trust your gut. You are not obligated to engage in conversations that feel hurtful or invalidating. Set boundaries. Clearly communicate your limits and what you are and are not willing to discuss. Do not be afraid to walk away from conversations that become abusive or unproductive. Document everything. Keep a record of interactions, including dates, times, and specific details. This documentation can be helpful if you need to seek legal advice or support from others. Focus on your truth. Do not get caught up in arguing or defending yourself against false accusations. Stick to your own experiences and feelings. Seek support. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, therapists, or support groups. Having a strong support system is crucial in navigating the emotional turmoil of Darvo.
Section 7. The Psychological Impact, Navigating the Aftermath. Being subjected to Darvo can have a profound psychological impact on victims. It can lead to feelings of self-doubt, guilt, shame, and confusion. Victims may question their own sanity, wondering if they are somehow to blame for the abuse or if they are overreacting to the situation. The constant gaslighting and manipulation can erode a person's sense of self-worth and make it difficult to trust their own judgment. This can have long-term consequences for their relationships, mental health, and overall well-being. It is essential for victims of Darvo to seek professional help to process their experiences, rebuild their self-esteem, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Trauma-informed therapy can provide a safe and supportive space to heal from the emotional wounds inflicted by this type of abuse.
Section 8. Empowering yourself, breaking free from the cycle. Breaking free from the cycle of Darvo requires courage, self-compassion, and a commitment to reclaiming your voice. Remember that you are not alone, and you do not have to suffer in silence. Educate yourself about Darvo and other forms of manipulation. The more you understand the tactics being used against you, the better equipped you will be to identify and challenge them. Surround yourself with a supportive network of people who believe you and validate your experiences. This may include friends, family, therapists, or support groups. Focus on your own healing and well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy, practice self-care, and prioritize your mental and emotional health. Remember, healing is possible, and you deserve to live a life free from abuse and manipulation.
Section 9. Conclusion: finding your voice and seeking support. Darvo is a powerful manipulation tactic that can have devastating consequences for victims. By understanding the stages of Darvo, recognizing its signs, and implementing practical strategies for confronting it, individuals can better protect themselves from this insidious form of abuse. If you or someone you know is experiencing Darvo, remember that you are not alone. There are resources available to help you navigate this challenging situation. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or support group. You subscribe matter. Like our video and comment by sharing your experiences with narcissists, and remember, you deserve to be heard and believed. Join our community, join Empath's journey.